Hello and welcome again to TelecomTV. We are here at IDF, the Intel Developers Forum in San Francisco in California. I'm talking with Ken Kavanagh, who is Director of Business Development at Metaswitch. Ken, welcome.
Thank you.
Briefly, tell us what Metaswitch does.
Sure. So Metaswitch Networks, we're based out of the UK, and we're basically one of the leading network software providers for a lot of the carriers in the world who are looking to transition their communication networks to like a software-centric, kind of all IP kind of future network.
Thank you. Now, strikes me, having spent some time looking at NFV over the past couple of years and being immersed in it, that one thing that characterizes NFV, one thing that's different about it, not just the technology, it's the depth and strength and length of collaboration between different companies that might in the past have been very, very much commercial rivals working together to further NFV. Is Metaswitch doing that?
Very much so. I think it's interesting with the whole move to NFV it's about really getting new applications, new services to market much more quickly. And at least in the network, from a telecom perspective, it's historically been very siloed, going through traditional integrators, bringing all these different pieces together. With NFV, it really opens up the network so the carriers can compete with the over-the-top type of services that you're seeing in terms of innovation, and there's also speed to market in terms of new types of services that they can even trial, and if it doesn't work, they can move on to some other things. So it's a way to, I think from a platform standpoint, to really redefine how services are delivered and what the relationship with the customer will be as a traditional network service provider.
Sure, okay. Now, who do you collaborate with?
So we work with a number of vendors. So Metaswitch itself is focused on virtual network functions. So we're providing a lot of core software solutions for residential services, business services, voice services, as well as a lot of security interconnect services. And with that, though, we require partners to deploy that on. So with the move to NFV, where historically we've done on ATCA, proprietary custom hardware, now we're looking to run our applications, very software-centric on a data center type of platform. So we're working with closely with like Intel, and a lot of Intel's partners with the Cisco's and Dell's and HP's to deliver a data center for the telco that can deliver network type applications, basically in a carrier class environment.
Ken, if you believe the hype that you read in some places, as far as this move towards IT type environment within a telco is concerned, some people have us believe it's no more than taking down an unlabeled white box from a shelf somewhere, slotting into a network, and Bob's your uncle. But it's not quite as simple as that, is it?
No. I think the issue you have is that from a carrier perspective, particularly in the network, there's expectations in terms of reliability and uptime. That your services are going to be there for business as well as residential customers. And so with that, what we're looking for NFV is basically to keep delivering that type of reliability, but moving those type of characteristics up into the operations layer, out of the hardware. So the hardware is just kind of supporting that carrier grade type of environment. And I think that's one of the objectives with the moving to NFV.
Thank you. Final question to you is this. In the past, throughout its history, telecommunications has been very much predicated on standardization, prescriptive approach to things. So you have a standard protocol, whatever it may be, for a particular set of functions or whatever they are, and you work from that standardization into commercial deployment. With NFV and the IT model, it's absolutely upside down from that. You deploy and then you standardize subsequently. Is that a potential problem, do you think, for CSPs who aren't used to that kind of an approach?
Well, it's definitely a change of paradigm, right, in terms of how they're going to work. But I think they realize that, particularly the executives, that they need to operate differently to compete as a communication service provider for the next generation of services. And I think even when you talk with the groups, the engineering groups, they see it as well. So it's basically trying to move organizations to adopt that that role in terms of how to bring those services and to make them successful and do that kind of trial of new services here and then adjust it as you go. It doesn't have to be baked out of the door at day one. So yes, I think that's one of the definitely the benefits we're going to see in this whole network virtualization environment.
Okay, Ken Kavanagh, thank you very much indeed.
That's right.